And ladies and gentlemen, I am AJ from Wrestling and a Movie. And you know, this is called Wrestling and a Movie, right? Well, we have to have like a wrestling entrance video or something, right? You know what we do. And here is my host.
Oh, I love that.
And here he is, Aries Perez.
El sazón del Caribe, papi.
So I figure it makes sense that we have to debut his new theme music right here on Wrestling and a Movie. It makes sense, I think, personally.
Yep, I agree too.
So for tonight's review, we're going to be watching. Well, we'll be reviewing the movie The Iron Claw. Don't know which way to put it, but you know. So it is about the Von Erich family.
That's right.
The tragic. I want to call it the tragic history of the family. It's a really gut-wrenching film. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you guys to go see it. But prepare yourself. There'll be a lot of crying going on. It's definitely one of those films. So let's get the poster up on here. Let me find it. There we go. And let's get right into the trailer.
Ever since I was a child, people said my family was cursed. Mom tried to protect us with God. Pop tried to protect us with wrestling. He said if we were the toughest, the strongest, nothing could ever hurt us. I believed him. We all did.
Morning.
Pants tomorrow, please, David.
Perry, I want you to join your brothers in the ring.
Yes, sir. I love that.
Now, we all know Kerry's my favorite, then Kev, then David, then Mike. But the rankings can always change.
What do you want in life, Kevin Von Erich?
More ribs? I want to be with my family. You know, be with my brothers.
What do you like to do with your brothers?
Together, we can do anything.
We're here to restore justice to the Wrestling Federation that our father built with his own two hands. The hands that were passed down to us. The hands that will deliver the Iron Claw to you.
So what do you think? Like we're alive.
I love your family, Kevin.
You gonna be an uncle?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, that makes me so happy.
I talked to you about something, Mom. Dad's too tough on us. You gotta say something.
Baby, that's what your brothers are for.
Feel that? You feel that? That's pressure.
You're pushing too hard.
I'm fine, kid. Seriously, I'm just sick.
I'm scared, man. It all out of control.
That's a terrible accident.
I should have stopped him. I need to think about my family.
Your job is to wrestle. Live up to that deal or we are through.
I told you to look out for him!
I just love being out there with you guys. It's the only thing that matters to me.
The Von Erich will forever be the greatest family in the history of wrestling!
All right. So I kind of got goosebumps watching that trailer because I actually seen the movie. So the film follows all the Von Erich brothers, including their father and their mother. They do not include the younger brother who passed away at a very young age, which is another tragic situation. Which, when the director was asked why they didn't touch on that, he said the film was already dark enough and they didn't need a reminder of how tortured this family was. Which a great move on his behalf, because at the end of the movie where they had. I'm this way. I'm probably not spoiling it for anyone. Maybe you, Aries, but at the end of the film, it had all the brothers who passed away met up with the younger brother who died. And it was kind of like that almost like a dream sequence that Zac Efron was in. And he saw all his brothers, and to be fair, it actually kind of put me into tears because of someone who's lost his mom and I lost my daughter. I can relate on that subject of loss really well, especially in the wrestling profession. I mean, the tragedy of the Von Erichs is very, very sad. The film was very well done. Chavo Guerrero was the one who trained them in the film. Zac Efron was unrecognizable, but man, they did that man dirty with that He-Man, the Master of the Universe hairdo they gave him. Oh fuck me. That was so bad. I think all their hairdos were horrendous, with the exception of Jeremy Allen White from Bear and Shameless fame.
Yeah, he looked good.
He looked really good as Kerry Von Erich. But you know, they really capitalized on the David and the Chris Von Erich and what happened to poor David, which forced Chris into that SWAT to fill in the void of David Von Erich. The father was very, very,
Fritz Von Erich was a very tough man.
Fritz Von Erich was a very demanding person of his boys in that wrestling business. And that's one of the reasons why I think as a father, I'm very careful about not pushing my boys into anything, because I don't want something like the classic saying, karma's a bitch. This, by all means, no family should ever witness five children pass away at such a young age. I mean, as any parent, that's heart-wrenching. How Kerry died was fucking beyond unbelievable. He shot himself in the chest with a fucking shotgun. It was just on his father's property in front of a tree. It was nuts. The fact that was how it actually happened, from what you hear stories, you hear different stories. David died in Japan.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Organ issues. He sustained some bleeding in his organs, which he thought he chalked it up as something really stupid, and he just ended up he was the first one to die. Actually, it was the first. Chris died after a vehicle accident. Essentially became brain damage, and he just blown his brain out of depression. Man, just talking about this makes me fucking you know. But in somewhat of a way, as like someone who watches these films and appreciate the storytelling of it, I think it's a good cautionary tale of the misfortunes of a very toxic environment that wrestling can be.
Yep.
You know, and this once again, comes back to, like we touched on it with the wrestler. You know, it's a sad reminder that once this is all done and over with, what do you have left in your legacy?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Von Erich's boys are tag teaming now.
Yeah, Roth and Marshall.
Yeah, and then I don't know if Kerry or David had a daughter. They had Lacey. I don't know
Lacey Von Erich. Yeah, I don't know which brother had her, but she already had her wrestling career.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to remember which brother that was. I know a lot of them didn't have kids, so I don't remember. I think it was David. It was either David or Kerry. I don't think it was Chris, because Chris, unfortunately, when his situation happened, he never managed to meet anyone. So it was definitely either David or Kerry. But the best part about the whole situation is that it touched on a thing that I think a lot of people needed. You know, not a fictional story. We didn't need the wrestler was a great setup. It got us prepared for the life after wrestling. This movie gave us the lens into the world of a wrestling family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just canceled the Hulk Hogan biopic film.
Thank God.
I don't know. I would love to see, you know, a biopic of Hulk Hogan, because the Hulk Hogan is a walking train wreck. Man, who doesn't want to watch that? Who doesn't want to hear how? Huh?
If that movie came out, I hope it's like one racial joke from the beginning all the way to the end.
Oh man, they should have. They should totally capitalize on that. They should also capitalize the fact how Hogan was trying to get Brooks' music career off the ground. They needed the Nick killing his friend. You know, like that should have been like. You know, once again, I'm not bashing Hulk Hogan. No family should ever go through such shit that the Hogans have went through. But the fact that they cancel it because he's, you know, on the thing for Trump is fucking retarded.
Yep.
You know, like, who cares, man? I would love that. Like, there's a couple of my old picks I would love to see. The Eddie Guerrero.
Yes.
I really want to see Eddie Guerrero one. I really want to see a, you know, people give me shit for this. I do want to see Chris Benoit. I really do. I get it. You know, he killed his wife, killed his son, but there's more to this. And I feel that everyone's just, you know, focusing on the dark side of the situation and not focusing on the whole thing. You know, that's how I feel. That's my personal opinion. A Dusty Rhodes movie would be interesting. I would like to see a Dusty Rhodes movie. I hope it doesn't end with the, you know, Cody Rhodes making an appearance talking about, you know, I don't want to hear that. I just want to talk about. I just want to film about his dad. Everything after that is whatever. You know, I want to film about his dad and the struggles he had. You know, not saying I want to thrive on these stories, but I think a lot of people that go into wrestling don't understand the cost of being a wrestler.
Yep, agreed.
You know, if I started like a legitimate wrestling school, I would have them watch these movies with a comprehension of this is what can happen to you.
Yep.
Are you sure you want to be in this business? Because the worst thing I hate is when a wrestler goes in there thinking they can just cosplay as a wrestler and get away with it. It's nothing like that. And there's way too many of those now. Too many fucking those. And it's absolute dog shit. You cannot do that. You cannot do it. I think I've only trained maybe 3 people ever in my life, and only one of them fucking did it. You know, so it's like, and it's not a knock on the people I trained. One person didn't do it because of, you know, family and medical stuff. Another one is a freaking bonehead, and he's in Florida right now trying to get trained. You know, there's some people that are just that have it, some that don't. You know,
right.
So, what is your take on the family curse that is the Von Erichs?
So, like AJ said, I didn't watch the film, but I did. I did watch their Dark Side of the Ring episode, and it's honestly one of the saddest stories you could ever hear. I mean, like he said, like all their kids started passing away one after the other, because in the trailer it shows that Perfect Fritz was crazy. Dude had so much pressure on all his kids. And then anytime one of them died, all the pressure would fall on the next son and on the next son. And then all of a sudden, all of them kept having all these tragic moments. And that's why I'm like, it's like I watched the Dark Side of the Ring episode and I cried my eyes out. I showed it to my ex-girlfriend and then I ended up crying at the end. And honestly, like, it's just very sad because you feel for them. Like the Von Erich curse. A lot of people talk about the Von Erich curse. Like, yes, it's a real thing. But it makes me so happy that Kevin never took his own life. Like that's a lot. He lives every day going, man, I wish my brothers were here. Because they died. And I'm so happy to see Marshall and Ross like out there killing it right now. Like they're the Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag Team Champions right now with fucking Dustin Rhodes. Like they're out there still, and Kevin still comes out with them. Like it just makes me very happy that Kevin didn't let all that tragedy and him want to join them and take his own life, because that would have just the Von Erich legacy would have died right there. And now we have Ross and Marshall. Lacey already went out, so hopefully she has kids, and maybe her kids want to be wrestlers. That way they can keep the family name going.
Yeah, I mean, the Von Erich story is very much a very tragic situation. But it just reminds you extremely how hard it is to be a wrestler.
Yes.
And I hate that I hate the fact that no wrestling school puts it out there, right? let's go back to the old days when wrestling schools were never really talked about. Like no one can find them. It's like a secret club that you had to know someone to be a wrestler, right? So back in the day, people used to have to break in guys to make sure they can actually last in the wrestling business. Now they're so desperate for money, they just take whoever the fuck they want coming in. Not saying that's everybody, but that's a good chunk of some of these fly-by-night wrestling schools.
Yep.
I feel if you took a room of fresh greenies, never been in the business yet, just started, and show them these movies back to back, and then show them documentaries on Perry Saturn and all these other fuckers, I guarantee you your class is going to be less than what it is. You know, because a lot of people don't take into consideration of all the stress that comes into being a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh, I'm going through a lot of stress and I'm not a wrestler anymore. I'm just a fucking promoter and the booker. Right? That's all I'm doing, and I'm bald, man. This is horrible. But I say it from experience that wrestling is a very scary thing if you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
I mean, you've already said sometimes, you know, you've quit, came back, quit, come back, and it's the perfect adrenaline rush, right? It's the perfect drug. So when you leave the first time, and that one day you have that one buddy, hey man, remember the time when you wrestled, you know, Billy Bob the hobo down the street in a death match? You know, we just want to be great to see you again. And then you go to a friend's show, and all of a sudden you have this itch again, and then you're back in the fucking ring. That's how I feel every time I do a show. Like year by year, I'm very tempted to come back in the ring every fucking year. You know, and my wife is like, oh, you can do it. I'm like, I don't know if I can fucking do it. But, you know, it would be nice to have one more run.
Right.
Just for the giggles of it, and then just be like, I'm done. I'm good. I can move on with my fucking life. You know?
Right.
Now, there's not a lot of good biopic movies. That's why I said I would wish that the Hulk Hogan movie came out.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? A really interesting biopic movie that should have went out there never did was the one on Andre the Giant. Thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
His daughter.
There was a documentary about him that aired on the Sci-Fi Channel back in the day. I remember that, like late at night, like it was about him and his gigantism and stuff like that. How he
yeah.
Yeah.
And once again, it goes back to what I've said. Wrestling's such a freaking crazy sport, man. It's the only sport, if you're 7'7", they're gonna book you just to stand in the ring and just look intimidating. You know, you don't have to do anything.
Right.
Like look at was it Viscera or Big Daddy V or Mabel or whatever he kept calling himself. That motherfucker was huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. You had Vader. You had Yokozuna. Umaga.
Yeah.
You know, the list goes on of very big wrestlers who've made it, essentially. I like how we can talk movie, then go right into wrestling. But then again, it's wrestling in the movie, so I'm not that surprised.
Right.
Oh, you know what I forgot to put out there? God damn it, man. The banner. The banner that tells you to buy your fucking tickets. We're coming back on October 4th. However, new location, people. We're going to be at 294 Winthrop Street in Taunton, Massachusetts, at the Platinum City Gaming. You don't want to miss it. Video games and professional wrestling with alcohol. That's a great combination of chaos and fun. And we do accept everything from video to Cash App. And if you guys want to buy tickets, they're on sale now.
That's right. Buy them tickets.
Buy them tickets now so you can see Aries. You know, we can, you know, beat up on people and give you reviews on movies that he's seen at the same time.
That's right.
As he puts a headlock on. Have you seen the new Beetlejuice sequel? 5-star review. Would that be funny if some wrestler did a film critic gimmick? That would be great. So, with that being said, Iron Claw, 10 out of 10, great film, emotional. The classic, I'm not crying, you're crying, always comes up. Who cut the onion in the room? There's like many metaphors we can use for this film. But I think it's one of those films that we as professionals in the sport of wrestling need to appreciate the dangers of pressure towards our children if we ever decide to have children and they decide to get into the business.
Right.
Every story I've heard about some wrestlers didn't even want their kids in the business. Oh, fuck, I don't want my kids in the business, but they're in the business anyway. Like, look at Charlotte Flair. The reason why she's in the business is her son and her brother died. You know, she had no interest in getting into the wrestling business, and when she did, she did not want to take her father's last name because she wanted to pave her own path. And then eventually, she was like, well, I'm just going to do that thing. You know, that's what ended up happening. But before we go into our final section of this, where Aries goes on his impromptu promo like we always do, I'm going to throw in something different. Let's throw in film recommendations. So Aries is going to throw out 3 movies that he wants you guys to watch, and then I'll throw out my 3. So I'm going to step back and let Aries.
All right, all got thrown on the spot. 3 movies that you guys want. Watch The Terminal with Tom Hanks. Really good movie. Well, I'm looking over here at my movie collection. Bro, watch the freaking 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action movies. Way better than any of the stuff we're getting nowadays, in my opinion. And then watch the original X-Men. Now that you watch Wolverine and Deadpool, you should go back and watch the original X-Men because you got to see all the cutscenes at the end. Oop, I should have watched it by now.
All right, now it's my turn for my 3. And here we go. All right, mine's a little bit different. Mine are actually films that are actually currently in theaters. Alien Romulus. Just got done watching it earlier today. 10 out of 10, fucking amazing. Definitely stays the Alien trilogy, and actually I feel it's better than I think it's tied with Aliens. It's really that good, and I recommend people to watch it. Now, Deadpool and Wolverine, obviously highly recommend it. You gotta watch it, guys. It's a good film. Gotta get out. And Beetlejuice, the sequel to Beetlejuice, starring Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder, who a lot of you guys, for whatever reason, wanted to be like, oh, the lady from fucking Stranger Things. She was fucking Beetlejuice before she was fucking Stranger Things. Get your facts right. So let me get Aries before I go into a grind my gear segment.
That's right. She was in Beetlejuice first. She's not from Stranger Things. Lydia.
So, as you guys know, we love to do this to Aries. We always like to put them on a spot. We always like to put them in an impromptu promo because it's hilarious. But before we do that, let's shamefully promote October 4th once again. Professional wrestling at the Platinum City Gaming in Taunton, Massachusetts. Show times at 8. Adult tickets are $15. Seniors and vets are $5, and kids are free. There's the QR code for our Cash App to buy the tickets. It's a live pay-per-view event, or for whatever reason, some people want to call it the premium streaming event, which is the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. I'm old school. I like the word calling it pay-per-view. So here we go. Aries to kick it off with his impromptu promo.
October 4th, right around the corner. We're literally 1 month away. The best month of the year, October, Halloween. That's what I'm all about. And what I'm all about too, collecting gold. As your WWC Florida Coast to Coast champion, I want another belt. So Red Dog, papi, bríllalo por mí, límpialo, saca todos tus gérmenes, porque yo me voy a ir con ese título Octubre 4. Like I said, get it ready for me, Red Dog, because I'm coming for you, and I'm coming for that belt. Don't matter who the other 2 dudes are in our match. I'm coming for you.
And there we go. So, that being said, obviously, this is our closing segment here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to tell people, come see us on October 4th. Make sure you come. It's at a gaming It's at a gaming arcane location. It's going to be on YouTube and Disney Plus. Obviously, the pay-per-view you have to buy Infinite. You have to download the Infinite Puff app, put in a subscription to watch the good shit on pay-per-view. And otherwise, that we want to say thank you very much. I am AJ.
I'm Aries Perez El Sazón.
Yep. So that is it for us. You guys have a great night.